I'm Sheila Brummer with Siouxland Public Media News. Nearly 20 years ago, the body of a baby was discovered along the Norfolk Fork of the Elkhorn River. Now the mother of that baby has been identified. In June of 2004, police recovered the body of the baby in Norfolk, Nebraska. At the time, an autopsy was unable to determine whether or not the baby was alive before it was found. A news release from the Norfolk Police Division says DNA samples were compared to several individuals and revisited on multiple occasions as new technologies started to become available, but were unsuccessful until this year. The police department earlier this year worked with the University of Nebraska Medical Center's lab to investigate the death, and through genetic testing, they were able to determine a possible mother. Officials traveled to where the potential mother lived and were able to make contact with her through the help of local law enforcement. Officials say the mother told them that she was a juvenile at the time of the birth and gave birth inside of her home, and the baby was stillborn, and she disposed of the body in a river. Police say due to statutes of limitations, any misdemeanor crime committed in the case has passed its statute. There was also insufficient evidence for any kind of prosecution. Minnesota recorded a 20% jump in abortions in 2022. That's partly because more patients are traveling from states that have banned or limited abortions since the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The Minnesota Department of Health says in an annual report, over 16% of the more than 12,000 abortions performed in the state last year involved women from elsewhere. That's double the total of 2021. Former Vice President Mike Pence plans to make a stop in Sioux City later today. He will be joined by 4th District Congressman Randy Feenstra at the Pizza Ranch at 5 p.m. Pence is expected to be in Iowa next week to appear along with several other presidential candidates at an event hosted by the family leader. An Iowa State University study is expanding on recent advisories from the American Psychological Association and the U.S. Surgeon General that found the more people use social media, the lower their psychological well-being. The ISU study found college students who cut their social media use to 30 minutes per day scored significantly lower for anxiety, depression, loneliness, and fear of missing out at the end of a 2-week experiment when compared to the control group. For Siouxland Public Media News, I'm Sheila Brummer. Listen for our next newscast at 3:04 right before The Takeaway. Have a good afternoon and thanks for listening.